Welcome to Pick Central. Today is Friday, June 6th. And myself, Clemmer's back, Hubs, Meek is back. Missed him. We got Liam back there.
Didn't miss me?
Missed you.
No.
No,
nobody missed you.
I wanted to. I genuinely say this. I missed Meek a lot because obviously so much Knicks shit happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Tibbs got fired. Like
Crazy.
A lot has happened in the Knicks world.
True.
And I needed my guy, my consigliere.
No, it makes total sense.
Actually, I would say I'm like the under. Like I'll give Meek like the boss.
Oh wow, Meek is Michael Corleone.
Yeah,
you're Tom Hagen.
I think he might be with our Knicks.
For the Knicks,
I'll give him that for sure. Meek, how we doing?
I feel good.
We missed you. I said I missed you very much.
There's lots of Knicks news. I'm happy Tibbs got fired.
So yeah, what's the consensus? How about you guys?
I'm happy.
I was shocked, and usually I'm repeating myself, but usually like when your coach or manager gets fired, you're like happy. You're like, finally they fired this guy.
Right.
Like, that would be my reaction to like Aaron Boone being gone or whatever. Here I was kind of sad because like he's done so much for the culture of the team. He inherited an organization that was a dumpster fire. They make 4 or 5 playoffs. They get to the conference finals, but at the same time, there are negatives with him, and they kind of realized he was too stubborn. I also appreciate a franchise that is hungry and desperate and is going to make they're going to be aggressive with their moves rather than sitting back and just being like, yeah, you know what? He did his job. We'll continue, hopefully get better next year. No, they're not accepting what just happened. They want to get better. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think my indifference says a lot. I don't get too into it because people are going to despise us turning this into a Tibbs after what happened last night.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get into
I just wanted just a quick refresh.
No, it's fair. I didn't want to get too long-winded.
We got
time. We have an hour show. Relax.
We got to talk about NBA
People in that
Finals
2
game.
minutes must have despised it. I don't blame them. So I'll get right.
Yeah.
The chat wants us to talk about the NBA Finals.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously we've addressed Tibbs. We've addressed the Knicks.
Yeah, we talked about
Oh, and Meek, you're happy about it.
Yes, I'm happy.
We never got Meek's take.
No, that's why I wanted to get it, but I didn't want to get too.
Yeah.
We can go back. We can circle back to this after we talk about.
Me and Hubs talked about it a lot, obviously.
I got roped this.
I mean, Haliburton did it again.
He
did it. I mean, the Pacers did it again. Haliburton did it again. They somehow come back from down 15 for the 5th fucking time in this playoffs. 5 times. No team has done it more than 4 times since '97. They did it in one postseason. They did 5 in one postseason. One of the most miraculous, like, just incredible things. And I say this with respect. It's funny because, like, I'm getting, like, after the game last night, I bet OKC, but, like, the spread was, I mean, once they made the comeback, the spread was like, deader than dead.
Yep.
I'm just, as a basketball fan, appreciating it. And I was surprised at people still being, like acting like it's, like, another jab for the Pacers to keep winning. I don't hate the Pacers like that. I'm just, like, impressed. I'm, like, it's remarkable. I'm just stunned watching them do it over and over and over. They've done it in every single series. Every single series they've had a game where it was like deader than dead, and they just pulled the carpet out again. Somehow they're able to do it. They just don't quit. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I've never seen anything like it. Like, I've never seen a run like this where they just keep, like, they get down 15, they have you right where they want you. It's like, it's crazy.
It's the same game 4 different times.
Yeah.
Like,
it's stunning.
And we think it's done every time. Like, they can't do it again, then they do it.
And then people forget, like, the closing game of the Bucks series where they were down. What was the effect? They were down like
that was nuts.
8 with like they were down 8 with like.
We had Indiana, and we like ripped up our.
They were down 8 with like a minute left, and they won. Like, it's just like the comebacks they've had have just been truly like insane.
Last night was it felt like the most insane one. Because it happened against this Thunder team.
Turned the ball over 24 times.
24 times.
OKC never made them pay.
They lost the turnover.
Only 11 points off turnovers.
Was it 24-7 they lost the turnover battle? Like,
only 11 points off those 24
Stunning.
That's how you lose that game.
Like,
Crazy.
just how it's
There was a lot. So, I still think Thunder win this series easily. I'll say that.
That doesn't mean anything, though.
Right.
Like, what? That's not what we're talking about.
But there were microcosms in that game that make you go, Like, for instance, there was a 3-play period where Thunder shot clock violation. They just had a shot miss. There were a couple other things. We had 3 scoring plays in a row that, because of weird little technicalities, it didn't count. And any of those go in, the game is a different story. I just think now the 24 turnovers, is that the aberration, or is it that Thunder's defense held them in check? That's what when I look at a game like that, I look at it from a series perspective. Like, all right, how does this affect the rest of the series? What is the aberration? What's the fluke? And I think the fluke is the Pacers came back. But to Ev's point, they've come back a million times. Maybe it's not a fluke anymore.
I think there's something materializing to it. Like we can't like quite put our finger on. I don't know if it's like
I mean, it's great coaching.
If it's
Carlisle.
the cardio, it's the coach. Carlisle deserves a ton of credit. He has not gotten enough through this whole playoff run. I mean, he's a guy who's won a championship, obviously. Every team he's coached forever just seems like they've been good. I mean, obviously the Mavericks were good forever, and this Pacers team has just like been like they've gotten to this point and they've been good. Like they've been a playoff team the last few years. Obviously, they go Eastern Conference finals this year. It's just like, is it the way they platoon guys? Is it they have like so many guys who they just have a bunch of guys who are just clutch too. Like the Nembhard step back was
best he's played.
Insane.
Yeah.
What a fucking shot. I mean,
Also, yeah, like on Shea too.
that's what I'm saying. Like had like an elite defender, like the MVP, like on skates. Like it was crazy. And I mean, just the separation he was able to get. I mean, the shot. I mean, and Haliburton. I mean, he just gets the ball down one or down two, and he just doesn't miss.
Bro, the fact that they actually voted that guy the most overrated player in the league, and I know it was a small amount of votes, but it's still you could tell he is disrespect in the league. And then I'm pretty sure Vip's blog that he didn't get a vote for Clutch Player of the Year. Like,
oh no,
That's wild.
How he doesn't miss when it matters? It's
crazy.
He's just like you look at like some of the Steph Curry in these moments, like record wise, shots made, shots attempted. LeBron. He's better than all of them. He makes all of it when it matters. I've never seen anything like his ability to just perform in the clutch.
I mean, the amount of stats that they just keep rewriting history with his comebacks. Like it's like you just see like another set. It was like there was like a finals one that's now it's like it was like 212 or 112. Now it's like 121. Like now they're 1 and 121.
Yeah, they're the one in everything.
It's crazy. Yeah, Rudy.
Crazy.
It's just I
will say 14% of 90 responses. What's that? So that's like 13 people.
13. It's the entire Milwaukee Bucks roster.
I've talked about it. It was like it's like not.
But it is still indicative of something.
But you know that he doesn't get respect. Like you see in these games against other players, like they don't respect him.
Well, even in the Olympics, people were shitting on him.
He didn't play. He literally didn't play. And guys like Derek White were playing, and other guys like I mean,
he's literally this postseason is putting together a Hall of Fame.
What I also just don't get is like players just also don't know what the meaning of overrated is. Like who's saying Bradley Beal or Kyle Kuzma is overrated? Like we know those guys stink.
Yeah.
Fair.
And like other players that got votes.
Gobert fits the overrated.
Like Beal was overrated 5 years ago. Now it's just
maybe they mean like in relation to their contract. Though.
Dude, Jock Landale got a vote for most overrated player. Who the fuck is hating on Jock Landale like that?
But maybe the players have said voting it based on how much they're making.
I actually want to know the guy.
Jock Landale's making nothing.
No, but Bradley Beal.
That's a troll.
That's
Jock
true.
Landale's a troll.
I want to know who voted for Jock Landale.
Honestly, I would have a beer with that guy because that guy's funny.
Yeah,
that's a funny guy. But I mean, we're even we talk about a little bit outside like Haliburton. I mean, it's all in one season. He's hit five like go ahead shots in the playoffs like that, in, like the last like seconds or whatever. I mean, I think the only guy that has more than him is LeBron.
It is
since like
true.
Yes, in the last like I guess 30 some years.
Since 1997, it's LeBron.
28 years.
You play your entire career hoping for one of those moments. He has 5.
And he's been the guy like all these. I think he's the guy he's hit every one right in this run.
Yeah,
because even the Bucks game, he hit the layup. Yep. He hit the shot against the Knicks. He hit the shot in this series. He hit the shot against Cleveland. Yeah, like it's been him every time. It's always him.
He can look bad at times during games and lost and passive, but he locks down, man, when it matters, and you have to. There's value to that.
And I'll say this: we'll give them a ton of credit, but some of what Clemmer's saying I think is fair. But I'll also say this: I mean, Chet played horribly. Like I think.
What's up with Hartenstein?
Oh, Hartenstein, I thought when he was in, like played solid.
No, but like they didn't like weird.
Not
like,
start. Yeah, they don't
want to play double bigs.
They go Cason Wallace gets the start, which hadn't happened all postseason, I believe, and then just kind of it was an interesting move. And then a lot of people have talked about the AJ Mitchell thing. He hadn't played in like key minutes the entire postseason. Yeah. All of a sudden, he just throws him in like it wasn't like it was garbage time. There was never
disaster. That was.
And he comes in, misses 3 or 4 shots.
That's the worry. That's the wrinkle that's interesting about this, where like the Thunder could lose the series. I still agree, Clemmer, they won't, but it's definitely going to be harder than we thought. But Dagnall in this moment, like here's your time to shine. You're in the finals for the first time, and so far that was not a good game 1 performance.
Very questionable decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, Chet only played 23 minutes, and he played awful. 6.6 rebounds, 2 of 9. Like, maybe that's an aberration. Maybe Chet, like, picks it up. But, like, the big oxtail's got to be better than that.
Jalen Williams didn't play well.
That's what I was going to. He didn't play well at all. He
No.
shot very poorly. A lot of missed jump shots. I mean,
You know who was good for Indiana that I thought watching the first half, and I think a lot of people, if they were to express their opinions on Twitter, I know Shea was getting roasted, but like at the time, I think everyone was thinking those types of things, that this was a mismatch and it was going that way. But I thought early on Obi Toppin was going to be unplayable in the series, and he had 5 threes. And
he was incredible.
And he played great.
He went from horrible to great, like in an instant.
Yeah.
I think that's an aberration. You're not getting 5 threes in a
I
game from
agree.
Obi Toppin again.
I agree, but confidence is a hell of a drug, and
Yeah.
he played well.
Obi's had a really good playoff.
He
Like,
has.
I don't want to. I don't think like. Do I think he's gonna hit 5 threes every game? Probably not. But I don't think him just getting like hitting some like jumpers at some key times is not like a true like a. It's not the craziest thing.
Yep.
I'll say this though. On the other side, to be fair to the Pacers, Haliburton only had 14 points.
He didn't
Like,
have a good game.
No one on the team scored 20.
Like I think he's going to score more points going forward. So like that's something that OKC needs to be aware of. Like Haliburton's going to have better games than that.
He impacts, though, besides the score.
He absolutely does.
You know, and he had his 10 assists and
Well,
or
3
sorry, 10
turnovers.
rebounds, 6
He only had
assists.
3 points at the half or something like that, right? Or something crazy
Yeah,
like
but
that.
the 3 turnovers is a lot for Haliburton because he just never turns the ball
3 turnovers
over.
in the first half. So those are things that probably won't happen again, even though Thunder do play great defense. So to be fair to the Pacers, I think they can play even better. Obviously, they can play much better than they did last night, 24 turnovers.
Well, that's the part that if you're really thinking OKC's going to cruise, like they didn't. The Pacers didn't play well.
No, they
Like
did
to
not.
win a game like that, even like there was. I don't know if you guys saw there was a clip of Haliburton and Siakam like saying it to each other, like let's get greedy. Like we played like shit, we just won. Like let's like fuck it, let's go try to win another one. Like I just see this team because every series has went like this for them. Where like, I mean the Cavs series, like they were huge underdogs. They just come back like they steal the game and then like on the road, and all of a sudden like the series just flips. So I'm not going to sit here and say OKC's definitely going to lose, but it definitely is like I don't know. I think if you're OKC, like you saw the look on Shea's face after the game. Obviously, you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
He wasn't even trying to aura farm a smile.
No,
he was pissed.
He was furious. Like I mean, you just can't believe it. Also, because also that very similar thing happened to them in the Nuggets series. So he's like, this happened to us now twice. That a team has just like been down, like they've been up 10 with like 2-3 minutes left and lost.
Like I still think OKC wins the series. I mean, they're minus 330 to win the series, but it's like you can't count the Pacers out. You can never count them out just because they keep fucking doing it.
Let me ask you this. What would surprise you more? Thunder sweep the rest of the games or the Pacers win it all?
Wow.
What would surprise you more?
Thunder sweeping the rest of the games would surprise me more just because you're
I-
winning 2 road games.
I'm leaning that too. Yeah, like I'd be really surprised if the Pacers did not win one game.
I agree. This feels at least 2-2 coming back for Game 5.
I think it's
you
going to
were
be
saying.
2-2. I think it's 2-2.
Because they hold the home court, and OKC has not played that great on the road this
bad. They've been bad on the road.
Yeah, so
That's why I think losing this game for them is so scary. Because now, like a series that could have been a cakewalk, I think now just became like you're gonna have to fight tooth and nail.
also, like
you just lost the home game.
Game 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Game
you're gonna
2,
have to fight for this.
I know they're now up, 11 and a half favorite or something
11,
like that.
11 and a half,
You know,
yeah.
Vegas is expecting them to really show up in Game 2, but they could easily come out tight here. You can't go down 2-0. Like, all the pressure's on them now. These are guys who have not been in the finals before.
Yep.
Scary situation.
that's-
Well, that type of game.
If you
That's
want
the
to go back to
difference.
the Nuggets series, the same exact thing happened with Denver, obviously losing the game
Yeah,
winner.
yeah.
And then what happened in game 2? They,
they
won by
like
40,
40, yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But
Now, this is a different team, though, because that
Yes.
Denver team was super short in their rotations and just not all that great defensively. Like, that, you could see that coming. I don't think I see that type of performance coming here.
Denver's an older team I was satisfied with 1-0, like on the road. Indiana's not satisfied at 1-0.
Oh.
And no, and going off the OKC thing too, like they're not like obviously they had such a great season, 68 wins. Like we're talking, if they win this series in like 5 or 6, like are they like a top 10 team all time? But also they haven't done it. Like they're not a team that I don't think they don't instill that same fear in you, like a proven like a team that's won championships. Like they haven't been there. Like last year they fell short. This year like they've had a Denver team that had no business pushing them to 7. And the Pacers, you can't find a more confident team, maybe like ever assembled than that team right now.
It changes the way
Like there's
you watch
no,
basketball.
there's no moment they changed the way you think, like the way you think of fourth quarters.
Yeah.
like the way you think of these leads. Like it's just it's unfathomable what they're doing.
You see a 15-point lead with 9 minutes to go. Most times you're like, okay, this game's kind of like over. It's just going to run out some time. It's like, no, they're going to win.
And it's especially OKC. It's like they felt so in control.
Yeah, that's it.
And even that was like the Knicks. I think game 1 I felt that way. Like they felt so in control.
Yes.
And then they just take. I mean, the Cavs game one. It was they so in control. Like they were never at any point even like threatening, and then they just go nuts.
Well, that game 5 against the Cavs too. Same thing.
Yeah, that too. That one at least it was like earlier in the game.
Right, but like, the same thing. Where like I almost felt like OKC was not playing cocky. I don't like that word, but like almost like there was like confidence that maybe they shouldn't have had. They were kind of like playing with their food a little bit, and like like fucking around, and then you find out on those last minutes. They had 2 or 3 chances to put that game away.
Yeah.
Put the lead up to like 20 plus, where it would have probably been too much, insurmountable, and they didn't do it.
No, Indiana every single time didn't allow it to get over like 13, 15. Like they really answered that run with their run and just kept it there and just like, hey, it's like they're telling themselves in like the huddle, let's just be within 8 points here with 5 minutes to go.
Yep.
Let's be within 10. We believe we can hit a few threes, get stops, and boom, Haliburton closes.
And OKC played so tight in those last 7 minutes.
That's the scary part of it.
Just like what happened in Denver.
Oh.
The overtime loss they had to Denver was the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So the Pacers went, I believe, 6 for 9 from 3 in the fourth quarter, was it? Mm-hmm. And I think OKC went 0 for 4, 0 for 5, something like that. I mean, what Hub said, it was a great point. Like, it felt like every time that the Thunder were going to make that leap to, like, push it to, like, 18, 20, they would always bang a three. Or they'd go, like, back-to-back and they hit 3, bucket or, like, 3, and all of a sudden that you thought it was going to stretch to 18, all of a sudden now it's 9, it's 7. And they would just hang around. They just find a way to hang around.
They played such good defense on the Pacers for like 40-something minutes. Like Dort Caruso had them in
unreal. Dort was great. Dort was awesome last night. I mean,
Dort was really
Dort
good.
had 5 threes too.
Great.
Like I don't know if you're gonna get 5 of 9 from three from Lou Dort again.
You won't.
Like he'll take 9 threes. You're not gonna hit 5 of them.
No, probably not.
And on the flip side, Nesmith only took 7 and hit 3. Like I feel like he's usually more of a high volume guy.
How many hit in the fourth quarter? 2?
That sounds right.
Like 2? So
I mean, he was impactful. He was 10 points, 12 boards, a plus 13 out there. Like his defense is huge. But yeah, I feel like he can give you more offensively.
Like Mathurin
I don't know
gave
what
them
his
nothing.
ankle's like, but yeah, Mathurin was nothing.
So-
Thomas Bryant had 2 shots, but those when
big
Thomas
shots.
Bryant scores, it like
And at one point when he
adds
went
a
on the
little bit more.
margins.
yeah, no, 100%.
Like I said, like AJ Mitchell minutes, you could say like lost them the game.
I think
You absolutely can.
that was the biggest playing with your food kind of thing. Putting him in, he hadn't played real minutes basically the whole playoffs.
It's like if we played Tyler Kolek in game 1.
That's like saying just throw him in like the third quarter.
I was like squinting him with him when he was on the court. I was like, who is that? I didn't recognize.
Bizarre, just a very bizarre, why they just
The
didn't make
series
sense.
price right now is minus 300 for OKC, plus 245 for
Yeah.
Indy.
It's fair.
I mean,
It's still fair. You can't overreact too much, but that's definitely respect to Indiana. Like they're chopping this away.
Well, it's getting the one on the road that makes it so big.
Yeah.
Like that just changes the entire scope of the series.
First one too, because now like house money for game 2.
Absolutely.
You're playing free.
Absolutely.
if you say OKC sweeps the rest of the way, it's plus 310.
That would really surprise me if they did that.
I think I'm going to bet that.
I
like that.
I just if they were able to win 2 in a row in Indiana, I'd be very impressed.
Tough. It's not something I'm like betting confidently, but plus 310, I like that a lot. And I think OKC is that much better. But, I mean, you can't – this is about as gritty of a team you'll find not in basketball but in sports, so –
It just
You're never safe. You never feel comfortable.
every series we had the Bucks won, people were going in thinking that the Knicks not like leaps and bounds better, but I mean they were favorites. I think more people than not were picking the Knicks. Obviously the Cavs were like resounding favorites. Everyone picked the Cavs.
I was in the Pacers.
it's like
I was in the Pacers both
it's
those
like
series.
These like series people keep you're on the Pacers and the Cavs series.
Yes, I was.
I don't know if I recall that.
I was in the Pacers and the Cavs series, and I was in the Pacers and the Knicks series.
Knicks, yeah, that was
This one I thought
that was a hate play.
I wasn't. It was
That was-
clearly it wasn't. Clearly the better team.
Well, no, they'd still be a hate play.
Both these can be. I guess. But I wasn't betting because of hate. I was betting because I thought the Pacers were gonna.
Sure, it was a hate play, but continue.
Okay, sure.
I'll say this about the flukiness, because
People can bet against the Knicks and think the Knicks stink.
Sure,
like, comparatively.
Sure, you did it. We did it with the Celtics. You
I did. And I made the money back with the Pacers, luckily. So.
Laid a lot of juice in that Celtics series. We'll go. Go ahead.
I'll say this, because you mentioned the flukiness of like a few possessions. If one goes their way, they win this game. There wasn't a level of flukiness like the Knicks winning the first 2 games in Boston, where the Celtics just missed a billion threes. Like that wasn't the case here. Like if you want to nitpick a few plays, you're like, oh, if that went there, right? I'm sure Indiana has a few plays too that they fucked up down the in the fourth quarter that we could have won by more than one. There wasn't a level of flukiness close to that Celtics Knicks shit in the first 2 games, which I could even admit was very fluky, and the Knicks probably lose those games 99 out of 100 times. Just went their way those first 2, but that the Indiana was way closer in this game than
Right.
that.
I agree with
Definitely.
that. Yeah.
Something we haven't touched on towards the end of that game. What did you guys think of that challenge that they did on Siakam? Do you think that Siakam should have been awarded free throws? Do you think that was the right call?
Got to remember the play.
It was when Siakam went out of bounds, and they said it was marginal contact on.
Oh no! I thought that was the right call. I don't think he was. I don't think he was pushed. I don't think you can call a foul there.
Yeah, 'cause-
I didn't see a foul.
okay. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
saying-
I don't think you could have changed.
It's not. There was a little contact, but not enough. It's marginal.
And that was the play they challenged.
Yeah, I
so,
thought it was the
yeah.
right call. I'm just saying, it's like, let's say they gave Siakam 2 free throws, then we're having an entirely different conversation.
That would have been. I thought that would have been crazy to give him 2 free throws on that play.
Yeah.
I don't think that was deserving.
Those I don't fault him because it gave me like flashbacks of like the OG.
That's exactly where my mind went. Same player.
Because that was like very. I mean, he literally it was. Like he literally grabbed OG's jersey and like they switched the call.
And they had 2
So I was
timeouts
like,
at that
I was
point,
like,
too.
who knows? I was like, who knows? Maybe they could switch.
He was right to challenge.
Yes.
Because of what's at stake in, like, hey, if they see it this way, it swings the game
Drastically, yeah.
drastically towards our. It was the right challenge, but I agree with the way they decided the call.
Yeah, I just
Nuts.
we. So what are we thinking for game 2? Like, where's everyone at in terms of like?
I think
betting or
OKC
just
wins.
General?
Simple. I think OKC wins because they have
I
to.
think they win, but it's
All out.
like an 8-point game or
I
something.
don't love that. Like, I'm not betting the spreads in these games. It's too much. And I respect the Pacers too. Like, we see 11 and 10. It's like, I don't know, man.
If OKC wins this game by like 8, I'm not gonna feel that good about it. If they win this game by 40, I'd be like, all right, you know what? This is like, at worst, it'll be 2-2 coming back to OKC game 5.
I mean, I think that's what I need to see from them to think anything other than it's going to be like just a 6 or 7
Yeah,
game dog.
it's how I
fight.
felt about the Knicks after game 1 last year. It's like, I need a blowout in game 2 to feel good. And obviously, we lost that game,
Yeah.
but
I took Siakam last night under 19.5 points. He got 19, but that was too close. I'm not doing that again.
yeah,
That was-
that challenge went against
I
you.
know, so I'm like, I'm good with that. So I've been looking more like series prices, things like that, than individual games, just because I think that like 11 points is crazy to me.
And game 2 isn't until next Sunday.
What did I take?
Got a few days off. Yeah.
I'm joking. It's this Sunday.
Well, I know.
It's just
forever
in the
ago.
NBA
but,
world,
I'm
you're
saying,
like-
but I'm saying the fact that it's
They
not
have
like
2 days
tomorrow.
off in Oklahoma City. Like, what are the Pacers doing?
Yes, hanging out.
I took before the game Neesmith to record 6+ threes in any game plus 550. So I'm sitting on that.
Okay.
That.
I was just looking at it because I think DK was offering like a risk free or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I didn't want to put it on like a spread or anything like that, so I just threw it on a nice little special.
Yeah, like that. I don't know what I'll bet. I feel like I'll end up on OKC just because I think everyone just reacts too much to one game.
11's so much though.
It is so much, but at the same time, like they lost the Knicks game. The one was about like 17.
I know.
Like this team is as great as they are. Like I'll give them all the flowers. They deserve them all. They're not invincible. Like they've obviously lost games in this playoffs. Like
Right.
they're in OKC. I mean, you're the one sitting here saying OKC is going to win 4 in a row.
I know. I am.
You don't think they can win a game by double digits or
They certainly can.
more than
No,
that?
they certainly like we saw that last night, right? They were up by double digits for a good chunk of that game. But I just see 11. I'm like, just get the win. I don't know.
There's been a ton of blowouts in this playoffs though. Like there's been great moments, but there's also been a ton of just
There's been blowouts.
stinkers. So
Yeah.
like, you almost want to think like 11 isn't that crazy.
If I had to go one way, I would bet Oklahoma City minus 11, but I'm not betting because that number is just too big for me.
I'll probably be on OKC first half.
I'm not taking
I
Pacers.
was on that's the first
I
half.
had I had
same
quarter.
yesterday.
I did quarter half game for the Thunder, so I won 2 of 3.
What is the half look like?
I would guess it'd be like 6.5.
Yeah.
I got 5, but I also took it like a little early.
And I'd like to think they come out with urgency in that game. So
I also think my thing
and
is
Indiana chops away in the second half, maybe.
the role players at home. When I say role players, I mean basically
It's out yet.
everyone besides Shea. I mean, like they have like Chet has to like. There almost feels like he can't play worse.
No. I also say
He
this.
didn't play that much. I think Williams has like Jalen Williams has to shoot better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he will shoot better.
Me too.
Shea was 14 of 30 and 38 points. Like that's a phenomenal. I thought he took some bad shots.
He did.
Like,
he does
it's
from
tough
time
to say that too. His 14-30 is good, and he was
He hit some threes. too.
3 of 6 from 3. But I did think of those 16 misses, there were some bad ones in there in the second half. That they're like, what are you settling for?
There's part of me that thinks like the rest of the team was playing so poorly that he almost felt like I got.
Yeah, he
That's the
felt
vibe I got.
It's like Williams,
Yeah.
like he made that first. I was on his over point, so I was really like hyper focusing on it. But he made that first 3, and then I felt like he just missed like every shot after that. Like he just couldn't make. He couldn't make a jump shot. He made a couple of layups, could not make a jump shot.
I felt there's a point in that game where SG's like, I just got to take over.
And Chet obviously wasn't doing anything. Didn't play much.
You think you might see Hardenstein in there over Chet?
he should? I thought he played really well when he was in the game.
He's a good player.
I obviously we're hard.
Chet has a higher ceiling.
Yes, of
but
course. He can make threes. He's more prolific offensively.
I heard
you can say you're
level player.
You can say you're watched the Hartenstein. Like you know what he's going to bring rebounding. He's going to bring rim protection.
Yep. I would probably. I wonder if they make that wrinkle, and it wouldn't even be that drastic because this dude just started Casey Wallace.
I mean, yes, if he just did what he's done all year long, Hartenstein would have played probably a little more.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Wallace was obviously just for defense,
right?
So then. Maybe that gives you the ability to kind of have Holmgren. I think Holmgren's a very good defensive player. I know you guys are.
They're all good defenders.
No.
You guys are obviously biased toward and I don't mean it negatively, but you guys obviously have affection rather for Hartenstein.
I just think he's playing better.
But also here's the thing,
which is an unfair take.
But I think the thing that I think of is when he starting Casey Wallace when you literally haven't all postseason, really like all year since Hartenstein's like been back. Why it feels like if you're the 68 win team, like you were the best team all year. Why are you catering to what they do?
Yeah.
Like why are you not saying we're gonna bully you with our size instead of saying we're gonna play small to match up with you? Like that to me that's like you're overthinking. Like do what you do. Make them be like shit like we don't have the size to hang with them instead of saying what we're gonna go smaller, which is literally what they want.
Yeah.
They want to like why are you putting Casey? I don't know.
I agree with you.
No, it's a fair move. It's a fair take. Fair take.
I just don't. It doesn't really make sense to me. I wonder if he switches off it. And
you're the team that we're talking about you being one of the more dominant teams in NBA history. Why are you throwing this wrinkle in there without anything?
How
good of a coach is Dagnall?
I mean, really good, but that was not a good.
Where are
game
we with him?
I said needed to fire him last night and hire Doc Rivers. That's the guy that can win you a championship.
He's tough because no one knows who he really is.
Yeah. Right.
Like this is the most he's ever been talked about. Is like right now.
Yeah.
Because they just have they obviously just gotten good the last 2 years.
Right.
And this year they really just cruised like most of the season.
That's why I wonder.
So it wasn't even the roster's just really good, young. I mean, but that's also we got to remember. This also is the youngest team in the NBA.
Yeah. And there's
youngest team in national basketball.
And then there's credit to Dagnall for steering him this direction.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's like these are kind of the first time you're seeing him in these like big crunch time moments. Mm-hmm. Like, because even I guess like obviously you can say it about the Nuggets series, but even that like the game 7 like they blow him out. I mean I guess like he
was bad. He gave that game away. The game one was brutal with the fouling. 3 so quickly in the backcourt. That was moronic. But yeah, I mean then they win the series. You can't kill him.
He's definitely had his moments. It's what I think.
You just look across sidelines and you have Rick Carlisle on one side, who I think is a very good coach.
Absolutely.
And you have an unproven commodity in Dagnall, but what I've seen, I gotta admit, I haven't loved.
Yeah. It's funny because I agree with you. Like he's definitely had his mistakes, but it's so funny the way like things. I mean, we've seen all these NBA coaches; they all like do great and then get fired. Things turn so quick. Like we're even like a Missoula. Like people were like in love with Missoula after last year. Mm-hmm. And then this year we're like Tibbs coach circles around him. Mm-hmm. And now Tibbs got axed. So it's like the way like almost like the trajectory of like these coaches is so like up, down, up, down.
And we've seen teams in other sports like the 2001 Diamondbacks. Bob Brenly's a bad manager, right? They still won the World Series. Teams can win in spite of their head coach, in spite of their manager.
I mean, yeah, Steve Kerr's a 4-time champion. I'm not convinced he's a good coach.
No?
I think Kerr's a good coach.
I think that's unfair.
That's insane.
I'm joking, Clemmer.
That was a joke.
I
mean, he benched Jason Tatum in the Olympics.
Yeah, but
smart move.
Honestly, that was smart for like his NBA team. He was looking out for. Ker's
a great coach. I don't like. There are examples though of teams that have won with kind of or
Mike Budenholzer, Frank Vogel, Nick Nurse.
Budenholzer, I think
these guys are good coaches.
I think
Budenholzer is a good coach.
Budenholzer is a.
He made me look bad this year.
Budenholzer is a terrible coach.
You think so? But he's succeeded like everywhere he's went at the same time.
Why are you so down on Budenholzer?
I think he's an idiot.
But like what
he's
tough.
I don't know, man.
I don't think he's a great coach.
I don't think he's a good coach. I like if the Knicks hired him, I'd be furious.
Well, no, I wouldn't love. I just think it's kind of like a little bit of a lateral move.
I think it's an absolute decline.
I would still say Tibbs is a good coach.
Yeah,
I just think he has flaws.
Tibbs not a great coach.
Yeah, he has flaws.
He's a good coach.
He's like a really good coach.
I hate Budenholzer. I think he's a moron.
But so
you guys want Malone?
No, I want Jason Kidd.
Why? To me, Malone.
Why?
Yeah, I don't.
Hey, horrible person.
Oh, yeah. That's why you just don't like him.
Well, that's a reason not to. I mean, Jason Kidd. What do you hand at that for? Like Jason Kidd is. What is he? Why do you think he's such a great coach? I guess the onus is kind of on.
Went to the finals last year. He has a great relationship with Giannis. He has a great relationship with Brunson.
Oh, so just a way to get Giannis there. Then
I would. Well,
he also took a team to the finals last year.
Yeah.
Let's say Giannis
he's a good
got
coach.
traded tomorrow, which I know is going to happen. But let's say he got traded tomorrow to the Rockets, and Giannis is off the table. Would you still want Jason Kidd as your coach?
I'd be happy with
I'd
Kidd.
be fine with it. Yeah, I'd be good with it. See, to me, Mike Malone, I get he's won a championship. He's the same guy though.
Yeah, he's the exact same guy.
Like all the flaws we're pointing out in Tibbs and basically why he got fired.
Not gonna play a
are
deep
the
bench.
same reasons Malone got fired from the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Like I just think you're hiring a very I get he has a championship ring.
It's a complete
But
lateral
he also
move.
had the best player in the world.
Kidd had Luka for half a season. Still had a losing record on the year. Doesn't concern you at all?
This year,
Yeah.
Luka was hurt like most of the.
I know, but he still had a losing record with some good players around.
Without Luka, what good players?
He had Anthony Davis for
3 days.
For we were
he
literally
played a little bit.
not.
And then you had
Oh,
Kyrie
wait,
got hurt.
Hold on,
No,
hold on.
not-
Walk that
no.
back. He didn't have Anthony Davis at all.
Anthony Davis not
did have
really-
Anthony Davis.
for how many games?
Dude, he got hurt in the
I think it's
first
Anthony
game
Davis for the
as a
Bucks.
Maverick.
Is that right?
But you said a dozen, 12. 12?
Yeah. Not many.
Clever.
No, I know. I'm just
12
saying.
games.
Dude, also when AD
I'm gonna
came
look it
back,
up right now.
Kyrie was out for the
I
year.
was wrong. He had 9 games.
Okay,
I
but
mean,
that's
exactly.
Kyrie was already out for the year when he came back.
I know.
Luka missed a bunch at the beginning.
My only point is this: so you had Luka for 22 games, you had Kyrie 50, and you had Anthony Davis for 9. Is that
And all sporadic. Like they
all
all were, like,
sporadic.
I think you
not- never
completely
together.
tossed
you
this
toss the year
season.
out? That's fair.
Absolutely.
I'm not fighting. Having a discussion.
I think he's a good coach. I mean, they were good with the Bucks too. Obviously, like I think he's a good coach.
He kind of got the short of the stick when they moved on from him in Milwaukee. Like Giannis, remember, was pissed.
Yeah,
when
he
that
was. I mean,
But he was a
I don't
500 coach in Milwaukee.
I don't think him in the front office agreed in Milwaukee at all.
He didn't.
No.
He didn't win. He was a 500 coach there. He wasn't a good coach in Milwaukee.
he was. They took the steps, and then he kind of got pulled as they made the steps. And we could argue if that's Budenholzer.
Kids never impressed me as a coach, except for last year or whatever the year before with
Yeah.
that was all right. That's impressive. Other than that though, Jason Kidd does not do it for me.
I mean, I only want Jason Kidd if he comes with Giannis. That's
That's obviously a huge part of it. But
Who do you-
I wouldn't
so,
be mad
Johnny
if they hired-
Bryant. Johnny Bryant's my guy.
He's so unproven. That's my only fear.
You gotta take risks though.
Johnny Bryant, talk to me.
I mean, okay, Steve.
Our number one assistant the last few years.
Okay.
Under Tibbs.
I don't know this guy at all.
Cavs plucked him away last year. I think he's obviously very well respected. Obviously, why would the Cavs just pluck him away?
Yeah.
When he worked for the Knicks, so he knows all these guys, or all the guys besides Towns and Bridges, I guess. He's a hot young coach.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you go that direction. Phil.
Yeah, I want.
he's the favorite.
I think, yeah.
he's the the betting favorite.
I don't know if Dallas.
I just assumed you guys would hire someone who has I don't mean it negatively. I just assumed you guys would hire an older.
Maybe they will, but that's who I want.
Because you guys are ready to win now.
I mean,
I
I
assumed
think,
you guys would hire someone.
I think it's pretty much going to be him or Jason Kidd.
Right, I do
think
too.
That's pretty much.
Oh, really?
One of
Well,
those.
my number one guy would be Ime, but I don't
Me
think.
too.
I don't know why
He's not leaving Houston.
I don't know why Houston would. Well, here's the only explanation you can come. I don't know why he would leave that situation. Obviously, he's building a nice core there. The only thing is if he wants revenge against Boston.
Oh, sick.
That'd be
Is
be
he a
awesome.
vengeful guy?
That'd
But
be
I'm saying that's the
incredible.
only reason. Otherwise, I don't
That
see it
petty.
happening. But that would be by far my number one guy, and I think he's an excellent coach.
I do too. I'm a huge.
And then after that, so Kidd, Dallas has to give him permission. Why would they do that? Now, there's a chance that Kidd just hates Nico after
That's what I
last
think.
year.
That's my theory.
There was some very weird, he didn't do that press conference. It seemed like when they finally did a press conference together, Kidd was giving off some very bad body language with Nico. I could see him hating him.
How was Kidd's attitude after they got the number 2 pick or the number 1 pick?
I don't know. I don't think we've really seen him.
Yeah.
Since then.
They
He's
probably,
obviously just kinda
pretty.
I mean, he's got Cooper Flag waiting for him, right? Why would he?
That's a project.
But the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks
but-
would be a pretty good.
Kyrie's out all year. AD, you have no idea, what you're getting physically from him. At his age, and you're in the West.
Yeah, Clemmer, let's say you win 26 games with Cooper Flag. You'd be like, oh, bright future coach gone. I think he only has 1 more year on his contract, I believe.
I think the Nico thing is real. That was my initial reaction. Just remember, he was sitting next to him in that press conference, sitting on those little stools. He just looks so
staring in the distance.
yeah, it was just so in my opinion, it was so obvious. He did not like the move. Was not happy. That
I can't imagine they
it was very much just
consulted him.
what the fuck? What the fuck are we doing? And I think that's the reason why he would say, get me. I'm over this.
I'd be hard pressed to
If the
believe.
Knicks are calling, sounds great.
Yeah.
He didn't lash out violently at anyone?
Oh.
No.
Maybe he's learning.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he has from 30 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
maybe.
Still happened.
Maybe.
Still
Yeah.
happened.
But also, it's
I mean, it's just shitty. I mean,
Sure, but
it's pretty horrible what he did. I mean, we can. I mean,
hiring a first-time head coach like Johnny Bryant, the Warriors hired Steve Kerr, no coaching experience. Tyronn Lue took over the Cavs as interim coach, coached there for a while. No head coaching experience prior. Nick Nurse started coaching the Raptors after they fired Dwayne Casey, who made the playoffs with them almost every year. Nick Nurse wins a ring his first year. It's like you don't need
Joe Mazzulla didn't have
Joe
head
Mazzulla
coaching
didn't have any
experience.
coaching experience. Obviously, he was gifted the job for different circumstances, but you don't need to be
he still was the choice, right? You're right, Phil.
You don't
It's
need
not
to
wrong.
have a history.
It
Like,
can absolutely go well.
yeah.
Yeah.
It could also
We've seen both sides. We saw Derek Fisher.
He's an offensive mind,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So like that's
Knicks need that.
encouraging.
They didn't run anything.
I would like to see some sort of like athletic article about him where he like was a pivotal piece to making the Cavs this offensive juggernaut. And once
Yeah.
I read something like that, then I'll be
Yeah.
on board here.
Yeah.
Ime
what I-
too. Ime when he got the Celtics, he
Yeah.
brought them to the finals. They didn't win, but he had no coaching
Yeah,
experience.
and like for every proven coach you hire in Tibbs, there's the Jeff Hornaceks,
Yeah.
the David Fizdales, where you're like, okay, he's done it before, and then it's like, well, he's not very good.
Yeah. That's a fair take. I don't mind hiring the new guy. I think it's interesting.
Before we move on, Bass, I want to say quick, just go back to the Pacers. We got to talk about this a little outside. I want to talk about it on the show because I mentioned it with Hubs yesterday. Where do you think this, if the Pacers win it all, like where would this, I don't want to say rank, but like where does it fall or like whatever, like how do you think of it in terms of like all-time like upset / like playoff runs like from thin air? Like I don't think, I was in the NBA, things hold so true to form because it's a 7-game series. Like you can't, in like football or whatever, like or even like baseball, you have a couple pitchers that get hot, kind of thing. Like in basketball, things stay so true. It's the favorites or like the near the top favorites usually win.
Star players also have so much control.
We just haven't seen it. I don't think in my lifetime I cannot recall a team that literally no one outside of probably their home state, even them, didn't even believe it. Truly, a team like just comes from thin air and wins the whole thing.
Two teams I could compare them to is maybe 2011 Mavericks, obviously coached by Rick Carlisle, where it's like no one expected them to win anything.
But even like how many wins? Did
But they also had Dirk, like prime Dirk.
yeah, they had prime Dirk, and they had how many wins that season?
like 50, I think. Let me just check.
That's how much. That's when the Pacers had. Pacers had 50. Like I'm curious where they were because the team that
57 and 25.
that's what I'm
so,
saying. Like they had 7 more
that
wins.
team wasn't to me. This the one.
And Dallas at that time was like a perennial like top like 3 seed in the West.
I wasn't
that team.
surprised by that. The Pistons.
I was gonna say the Pistons are the other team.
And you got to remember, it wasn't just the Pistons were. You remember what they were up against? You were up against Kobe and Shaq
Yeah.
with Malone, although he got hurt, and Gary Payton. Like
Yeah.
it was like what they were up against is like there's no question this is going to be Lakers sweep. Like it was no question about it. And then to have the Pistons turn the tables on them was shocking. The most shocking thing I've ever seen in the NBA.
That's the only. That's the
Not
only
the most
one
shocking I've ever seen in sports. That's you
was
guys
kinda-
winning the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
No, that's what I brought up yesterday. Like the Pistons, the only one I can think of in my life.
We landed on them.
That they were betting odds. They were as big of underdogs as the Pacers were. Maybe actually more. I think. And it was true. It's crazy. They were thought of that way. They were going to get swept, and they won in 5.
Yes.
Like they literally completely
Shocking.
turned the tables.
I mean, I remember where I was. Like it was shocking.
But even that team, refresh me. They were had a lot of wins, right? Like they were like a top seed in the East.
They were a top. They were better the next year, if I remember correctly. I want to say the next year they even had a better record. But they were.
It was 05 or 06. They had like 60 wins, and they had 4 guys make the All-Star team.
Yeah, but that was the year after.
Yes,
This was the year
yes,
before
yes.
that. So they were unproven really in the playoffs. You had a guy like Ben Wallace, who the year before people really didn't know much about. Who
And
ended.
they were the classic like lot of really good players, like not that elite.
They're the
like
only NBA
Chauncey and Rip Hamilton and
only NBA
Keyshawn,
team I've ever seen win a title without a superstar. I've never seen an NBA team win a title without a superstar except for them.
They just had 5 like awesome players,
Yeah, like good.
like I said, like
Good.
really good players.
They had no one who was like quote unquote like great. They had like a lot of really good players.
Chauncey made a few All-Star teams. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
and he was really good, and they had really good coaching. Larry Brown was coaching them,
obviously
right?
it's
Like,
great,
I mean,
yeah.
so like they always played within their abilities, and they shut down the Lakers, which was it was
They were so good.
it was like David versus Goliath. I said the only thing I compare it to, the only thing bigger maybe in my life has been when you guys beat the Patriots when they were undefeated.
Yeah,
That was shocking. It was that level of shock.
that one I struggle with that one because I was so in it. Like I
Yeah.
was really in it. And I went to that Week 17 game with my dad when they almost beat the Patriots.
Right.
So I guess I was like 12 or 13. I really believed. I really, really did in my heart and my soul and my head. I was like, I watched them with my own eyes hang with this team.
The final
So
scores.
there was part of me that was like skewed on that.
The final scores of that Pistons Lakers series are just so funny to look at.
86 to like 79.
87-75, 99-91 was the OT game.
Yeah.
88-68, 88-80, 187.
So I will say that's because the Pistons brought the Lakers down to their level.
Yeah.
You know, like
100%.
that wasn't like it's
They
not like
dictated how that series
it wasn't
went.
like 1996 when those were average scores.
No, the Pistons were just that good defensively.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holding the Lakers. Well, I'm assuming there was the Lakers scored 68, or was it the Pistons that game?
The Lakers scored 68.
Holding
Shaq,
Shaq and Kobe to 68
and Gary Payton. I think
68
Malone was hurt
bucks.
by that point.
See that
But
box.
prime Shaq and Kobe to
Isn't that insane?
68 points. Like, damn. Wow.
They had 4 Hall of Famers
Wow,
on that
wow.
team. 4.
Yeah, wow.
Now 2 of them were at the end.
But two of them like in their prime.
2 of them in their prime, and then 2 of them were still pretty effective.
Whew.
So Kobe in that game was 4 of 13 for 11 points.
Yeah, think about that.
Shaq was 7 of 14 for 14. And,
Yeah, like
Holding Shaq, like,
and no one else
See,
scored.
I-
no one else was in double
this
figures.
wasn't Kobe the first year they won. This was Kobe at the end. He was really good at that point.
I like remember a little bit watching, but I was like 10, so I'm not like detail for detail. I almost want to go back and be like, were they just like denying Shaq the ball? Like, how are they keeping that?
I remember
average of
them
Shaq to,
being
like, 14?
smothered.
Like they must have just.
Ben Wallace was
Yeah,
just
Big Ben, man.
Ben Wallace. He could.
Of course, but him by himself, like no one was holding Shaq. Like, that was.
Sheed helped out.
Of course, no. I'm saying like they must have just denied him the ball, and then like Sheed and both the Wallace
Rip Hamilton.
on him.
Rip Hamilton in that game 3 had 31 on 11 of 22 shooting. So he outscored Kobe and Shaq himself.
That's insane.
Until I met Rip Hamilton, like literally like a year or two after that Super Bowl on vacation. with
Said,
my
like,
family.
nicest guy ever,
One
right?
of like the nicest human beings I've like ever met in my life. Like talked to me and my dad for like 20 minutes.
That's awesome.
Took pictures. Was like generally like his wife just chatting up like or his girl. I don't know. I think it's his wife now. Maybe his girlfriend at the time was like chatting with my mom. Shout out Rip Hamilton, one of the best human beings I've ever met.
For Eric growing up in Little League and in basketball, rec leagues, I always try to emulate my favorite players. So like I would pitch like certain people, like honestly, like one year I was like I had the same Mike Messina, and then 1 year it was I was trying to do Ching Meng Wong, like it was, and then free throws for like years I tried to do Rip Hamilton, like the one bet, just doing. I looked so stupid because obviously I'm not Rip Hamilton, but it was kind of kept me in rhythm. It's cool. Free
Mask.
throw
I just
motion.
respect.
The mask,
He made the mask a thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that was. But this, other than that, I would say if the Thunder do win, this will be the biggest NBA Finals upset I've ever seen since the Pistons, which I don't think is.
Because to me, it's like it's even deeper than just the series. It's the whole playoff run.
Yeah,
It's being they were like small
The
favorites.
Pacers were 40-1 before the season started. I
They were
believe.
small favorites for the first round.
now we talked
Small,
about this.
and then have been sizable dogs in the rest.
We talked about this before the show. I was talking about the Houston Rockets team in the '90s. That was the team with Hakeem. The teams that won the 2 titles back to back when Jordan was out. Now that Rockets team that won the second year, I believe, it was a 6 seed.
So I looked it up. They were the 6th seed, but they did go 47-35. But I think that falls in similar with this because obviously like the Pacers won 50 games and they were the 4 seed. But also like we had talked, me and you, Clever, we talked about like they were the reigning champs.
Well, right.
So the feeling around them is a little
Completely different. Completely
That gives you more of like a Lakers LeBron feel where it's like just get in the dance, like who cares who you play? You know what I'm saying?
And who did
like
they
you
play
still
that year?
believe in them. They
That was the Magic they played that year, right?
swept them.
And then you have a team in the Magic who all the talent were, but you didn't believe in them. It's kind of like this Thunder team because like
They played like like a super young team.
yeah, they're like, all right, well, this is unproven. Like we don't know what they're capable of. So like when the Rockets beat the Magic, it wasn't shocking. Like you know what I mean?
Honestly, there was some parallels. I almost feel like the Knicks kind of like the Knicks beating the Celtics was in that playoff run was kind of what like they beat the Bulls. Was that when Jordan came back at the end of the year?
Yes.
And the Magic beat the Bulls with Jordan, even
Right.
though it was kind of like he had just come back.
That was shocking.
So there's a little feel of like this was like we got over this hump.
Correct.
And then you still have to beat the Houston.
Correct.
Houston steamrolls them.
Which was shocking. And Jordan, of course,
That was
wearing 45 that year was very weird.
Yeah.
Because they had retired his number. But that was when that happened. Yeah, it was definitely like, oh my God. It was kind of exciting and thrilling because like Shaq's in the finals. This is crazy.
Because I just keep thinking about when I think of this Pacers run, like I just picture my brain what it'll look like Haliburton like holding the championship trophy at the end. I'm like, God, like I just never like. There's nothing I can recall in the NBA that would resemble like the way we view this championship because there's never been anything like it.
It'd also be one of the greatest like singular runs we've ever seen.
I think it would be the greatest run in NBA history in terms of like the underdog story.
Yeah, and like with like we saw a superstar like, literally like in the last 6
Like just we watched a guy become a superstar that
Yes.
people I mean, what the storylines in history.
If they win a title, he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Of this guy, easily. And this guy
Think about that.
In the same year, he was voted most overrated player in the league. Like, think about the 30 for 30, like the intro. Like, what if I told you, like, guy was voted the most overrated player.
Couldn't get a minute in the Olympics.
Couldn't get a minute on the Olympic team. Was actually the best player in the on the best team in the NBA.
Last man standing from that group.
Pacers 2025 NBA champion.
His numbers for his career are really good.
Really
They
good.
are.
He's a 2-time All NBA guy.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
Like he's not like he's really good.
But he's a great player. But he's putting himself in this like crazy pantheon that we never thought.
Nuts.
Besides that little run he had in the play-in, like the year before this, where people were like, "Oh my!" He started that year so hot, and they were unreal. People thought maybe that was his potential.
It's so fun seeing guys like become like the superstar. That's like one of the funnest things in sports when like you see it happen like kind of quickly.
Yep.
It's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
And I don't know what it is. Even though like he just like ripped my soul out, I like kind of like him. I think it's because I liked him beforehand.
I've
always been like a fan of him, so I kind of don't.
I won the Knicks to
Feels
draft him.
weird.
So,
I have a tweet that night. I won the Knicks to draft him.
and speaking of the Knicks, we have some news. They're preparing a tsunami-type offer for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Love the
Oh.
tsunami offer.
Tsunami's such a good word.
Love tsunami.
Wow.
What would that be?
What do you mean? It's a tsunami offer.
That was my tsunami sound. I did a car sound. I don't know what to do.
Apparently, tidal wave sounds like a car.
I don't know what.
I think I saw tsunami and I blacked out.
A pro basketball, right? Gary Wolf.
How many show me the bio.
9K.
Tell me he's a real
Show me the bio. I want to
real-
see the bio.
you're-
Pro
real
Basketball
person.
Writers Association award winner.
Jerry with a G. That's a weird way to spell
Okay,
it.
I like this guy.
This is like a guy who knows basketball.
No, he only follows. No, I want to see. No,
How many followers?
but he only follows 200, which is
I like
good.
that. I like that.
He's not like some guy like a follow for follow.
Lindy's
kind of guy.
I used to read that.
No, this guy's an OG.
This guy is.
Lindy's football I used to read.
Yeah, Lindy's was a thing back in the day.
Wow.
What? But I
Tsunami type offer just got me. I'm fired up
you can
now.
say that, but you don't have anything to offer. Like besides,
we have a tsunami.
You keep saying this. We have tsunami, Clemmer. We're offering a fucking tsunami. What do you mean?
I just don't know what you're gonna get. And then
You keep saying what we're gonna give. Like we have an all NBA player with like 3 years off.
then you're losing stuff in your current roster. So then it's not a net positive. I mean, it might not be.
Well, it depends.
Might not be
Depends
as
how
much
they
of a net
build around
positive
it.
as you want it to be.
But they'd have to. But I think I think if you go all in on Giannis,
Right.
you're clearly like the Yankees. The Knicks are becoming like a slow it the fuck down, Brunson, Giannis bully ball team. Like you're becoming a slow down. Like you're a 2-point offense.
Who's left though on that team? So then you'd obviously keep Brunson. You have Brunson and Giannis, and then who else?
One of Bridges or OG probably goes. One of them stays,
And then Cat's gone.
and then Cat's gone for sure.
God.
Maybe Deuce. Like
Oh, you're that's terrible. You hear that? You hear him say thank God about Cat leaving?
They cannot win a title with Cat on.
I agree.
Oh.
Not with Cat and Brunson together.
Wait, yeah, with them together, they can't win with him.
With Giannis and Brunson, they absolutely can.
Tsunami offer. Do you think that's got to mean Kolick, right? Kolick.
Yeah,
loses.
no, yeah.
They have to throw in
we're giving
Dottie.
Tyler Kolick, bro. Come here, we're giving Tyler Kolick tsunami.
If you guys, I'll tell you this: if you guys hadn't traded those picks for Bridges, I would think, oh shit, they're gonna get him.
I still think we're gonna get him. I believe.
We have a tsunami.
I've been willing into existence for months.
It's what Boston doesn't have, a tsunami.
They don't. No tsunamis in
I
Boston.
don't have a tsunami.
Zero
I have no
tsunamis.
tweet from Jerry saying you have a tsunami.
No,
None.
it's true. It's true.
Now I just a
We
tsunami
don't,
offer. is-
tsunami. I don't think. I mean, Giannis would be wonderful, but
Also, Giannis.
you have to give up for Giannis. And
Also, Giannis and Brunson. If you were able to keep like Giannis, Brunson, Bridges, or Giannis, Brunson, OG.
How's that for a tsunami offer?
Oh,
is it?
Oh, with Bobby Portis. Talk to me, nice Bobby Portis. I mean that we have Bobby Portis. We're filling the gap.
We have an enforcer.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, now we're gonna beat the shit out of this.
Yeah, now we're just
To a
fucking,
pulp.
we're just fucking people up now.
So all they're getting,
We're just
all
kicking
Milwaukee's
ass.
getting is what is it? 2 firsts?
Oh, they get a
Oh, go
tsunami.
back. Yeah, they get a tsunami.
They get hit with a wave.
Tsunami of second.
They get
Get a wave.
pick 19 in this draft. That could be a good pick.
Very
No, they
valuable.
got two. They got,
sorry,
they-
3.
No, they got 3 first. I mean,
what is the verbiage on that 2020 or 2030?
other teams
2030 is a
gets
pick swap.
Other team gets right.
In blue, it just says tsunami. It's just in 2030
But
it
if
hits.
they got Cat Hart, and like 6 picks, 5
The Bucks
picks,
could be a playoff team with that.
No,
three
but
first
there's
rounders?
3 first. You need throw the second ones out.
but it's 5 picks. The picks are so last 3 first rounders.
3 first rounders. And teams can offer.
And like an all NBA player, then like a really good, like a solid player.
We'll
Just a
see.
good-
Like I said, the only way it happens is I think if Giannis is like, I'm going to New York or nowhere else, maybe then you can.
Clemmer, you got to remember, this is the same team that we had the Brunson family deal done before the season ended.
Well, this is also,
Like, we're-
this is also the
we're-
same team that's owned by James Dolan. I mean, the same team stuff. I mean,
Who cares?
The Knicks.
But he's not really as involved.
Same team
in
as the Knicks.
But he's not involved in that. But I'm saying you're missing the point.
Okay.
We're making moves behind the scenes. We're doing.
okay.
We're illegally tampering right
Okay.
now.
Hey, guys.
I'll say that because I can't get us in trouble.
Do
But
whatever it takes.
I'm saying Brunson was hand delivered in the middle of the Western Conference Finals.
So you think that right now
With the family-
Jason Kidd is probably working behind the scenes,
Yes.
trying to get Giannis. Hey, Giannis,
Yes.
you gotta come with
yes.
me.
Yes.
Going to New
Yes,
York.
Clemmer. Now you're seeing it.
exactly-
You're seeing the
alright,
vision now. You understand. We're on the same.
Welcome to Knicks delusion.
Yes, here you are. I finally pulled you through to the other side.
Something else. Wow, what a wild ride that was.
We're working. We're moving right now. Worldwide West and Leon Rose. We're making calls. We're taking meetings.
I will to all
Behind closed doors.
All kidding aside, I do like to laugh at the Knicks because it is funny. But I'll say this: I do appreciate that you guys are like, listen, we're Leon Rose is the guy who's like, I am gonna work nonstop
aggressive.
to get there.
It's
Yes.
like Tibbs probably had a ceiling. We probably hit it. We got to find somewhere else. Now, is the next option a risk? Sure, but Leon Rose is willing to put his job on the line and make a risk because he knows the current way isn't. Which I always, an executive, I always applaud.
It's like AJ.
So I
Preller,
will
it's like
always say
AJ
that.
Preller shit with the Padres, where like they're always. I don't care. We're always going for it. We're always giving more prospects up.
Well, yeah, and also it means you're also willing to risk your own job. Like he could have gone with Tibbs and probably had his job for another few years, or you can make a move. I applaud that.
God, the tsunami's got me fired
I mean,
up.
tsunami offers.
Until Giannis is on another team, it's tsunami also.
I just stumbled across an actual tsunami offer on this site.
Let's see.
Oh my goodness, this would rock.
Get Durant and Giannis.
Well, that's a tsunami.
We give up Cat, Josh Hart, Deuce, OG.
wait,
Oh, that's
first.
That's like the asteroid hitting Earth and destroying the dinosaurs and creating that kind of tsunami. That's what that
Well,
is.
see that thing with the Bucks.
1,000-foot wave.
The Bucks with that.
I love how
right
the
there-
Bucks and Suns like don't want anything back. They're like, yeah, you know what?
But no. I was gonna make this not tongue in cheek. That Bucks team after this trade, they're still a playoff team in the East.
Yeah,
Well, what does that do? Why do they want to just? Be a
I'm
playoff
just
team?
Clemmer.
it's fun. I don't know.
Not everyone thinks that way, whether they like it or not. These teams don't. A lot of teams don't want to bottom out. I know you don't like to hear that, but it's the truth. These teams, they don't. A lot of teams are not willing to just say no one's going to show up to the games for 2 years, and we're just going to like duck. We're just going to like fuck everything off. You have like an all-star and then like 2 really good players and some draft picks. You have a playoff team in the East right there. You put another guy around it too. Who
You're
knows? I don't
selling
know.
them on something you guys don't want yourselves.
But we're in a different spot. They also won their championship.
They win a championship.
So not everyone has a
championship.
tsunami.
I don't want
Yeah, not every, only the Knicks have the tsunami.
We'll say tsunami 100 more times. Right?
Oh, at least. I'm just saying
You guys are going to regret that
it's a tsunami
Bridges. That
somewhere.
Bridges deal is going to hurt.
What if it leads to the tsunami? Then I don't
he
give
might
a
be part-
fuck.
yeah, but he might be part of
It
the
won't.
tsunami.
You guys would have had those.
Hold on.
You guys would have had Giannis.
Are you putting out? Are you saying right now 0% chance the Knicks get Giannis?
No, you can't even say 0%. I would,
Also, there's a good
I would
chance
say
that-
you guys are in the power rankings. I have you guys no higher than 4th.
All right, that's what I want to hear.
In the East or in general?
General.
I'm fine with that.
No higher
I'm
than.
fine with that
I'm
for
probably
now.
being generous because because you're my friends.
Is that with or without the tsunami?
That's including. That's with tsunami bumped it up from 5th to 4th.
With we got Giannis?
I'm saying you guys have the 4th
But,
best
but,
chance.
but tsunami's only Giannis.
Yes,
We got a Giannis.
I'm saying Giannis. I'm saying there's teams ahead of you that I think, like for instance, the Rockets, the Spurs have a much better chance of getting Giannis than you
I'm
guys.
telling you, I think the Bucks might rather have Carl.
They have actually things to offer.
No, but we
The
have
Bucks would.
We
want.
have a tsunami.
They don't
we
have
have
a
a tsunami. And we have we have Big Zesty, one of the best players in the NBA. Fact.
You don't want anymore. Fact.
But it's where but it's the
They don't know that.
it's the combo. But it's the
do you want when you
combo
offer him?
again. This is a guy who was in the conference finals in both leagues in the last 2 years.
True.
He's not a scrub. He's
not a scrub.
It's just him. He can win a championship. Just not.
And that's
with,
what no Hub just said. The difference. Hub said,
not with Brunson. I wholeheartally agree with that. It's the defense.
That's
that
what
is
I'm
what he
saying.
said. That's what he said.
It's with Brunson. He can absolutely be a guy on a team that wins a championship, but just not Jalen Brunson and him together being the 2 best players. But before we wrap up, we do picks. Aaron Rodgers is finally a Steeler. He's officially a Steeler.
Credit to him.
He said credit to him.
The timing of his announcement
Decision
was
in
unbelievable.
timely manner.
Holy
He's a
crap.
Pittsburgh Steeler.
in the middle of a World War
That's what
III
I'm saying.
between Musk and Trump. Yeah.
He sat out so long. He waited so long, and then he just picks that hour window on Twitter.
So
was
funny.
fucking crazy.
Comical. Like you couldn't write it like a comedic script better.
One thing I thought was pretty interesting. I saw one place where Rodgers said he would sign for $10 million. If that is the case, and he's willing to take that bargain price, then I think the Steelers still have $20 million left to dick around with. So you could see the Steelers making the move.
I wonder who else would be at this point.
It's not really a free agent or anything.
Trades?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just
Oh, sure.
I'm just putting it out there. It was like that's intriguing to me. It's like, all right, the Steelers could get better. Or also maybe it's a movie making the deadline.
Or it could just be Rodgers getting $30 million.
That too.
It could just be that. Because the $10 million thing to me is, I guess you could say he has no no market at this point.
Right. You have to.
But in terms of like the market of quarterbacks, like I mean, we have backups in this league that make almost $10 million.
I know.
So I think him to make 30.
You also said it once. That doesn't necessarily mean it's law. Like
I could easily see it being like a 1 year, like $40 million deal or something.
That's the case.
Or $30 million or
right,
whatever.
Then the Steelers wouldn't have that money to dick around. But keep an eye. That's one thing to keep an eye on is how much he signs for, because that could lead to the Steelers making some improvements.
Yep.
Which I think is interesting.
If he should, money doesn't matter to Aaron Rodgers at this point. It should be about building a team, the best team you possibly can, to go one more run at this thing.
I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
Meek behind
easy
the
for us to
glass.
say. It's not.
That's why, I guess it is. I don't understand why LeBron fucking. I guess maybe there's reasons to be, and he had to sign an extension. But why is LeBron not signing for $10 million at this point?
I mean, Jordan for years took a lower rate. Really,
I know the CBA would get mad at him. The Players Association would get mad at him.
Very mad.
You hamstring your team when you take that contract extension.
That's what Jordan did. And then,
I don't know. It's so much easier to say. You asked me to take a pay cut. I don't want to take a pay cut.
I just keep looking at Kevin Durant.
I was watching Meek. I was with a camera on him. I was watching Meek. Meek had such a smile, one of the biggest, most genuine smiles I've ever seen on his face. Truly,
You think that deal would get done?
If it was on 2K Trade Finder, I would take it in a heartbeat.
Right, but that wouldn't even happen in my Granite streams.
I think it would happen in your Granite stream.
2 firsts for those guys?
Put it up one more time.
It wouldn't, Meek.
Those are good first.
The fact the math works out so funny. There's a legitimate way for it.
Dude, I would.
Is it going to happen? No.
With Brunson, Durant, and Giannis.
No, that's right. It's not
insane.
going to happen. No.
That would be unbelievable.
But the fact
Brunson,
that it's
Durant, and
possible,
Giannis would be insane.
It's legal.
we would have to play on the team.
And we'd still have Bridges.
Yeah,
I mean, you could have Bradley Beal get traded for Giannis straight up, and it's legal, but it doesn't mean it's ever going to happen.
well, no, he has a no trade clause, so it's not legal.
It's true.
I think my favorite thing about it is the contrast. I'm telling you, Meek, that was one of the joyous I've ever seen him. In the way discuss Clumber.
Trades are fun.
I think I just love both.
It's fun roster building.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's glorious.
Idiocy. Knicks
It's
idiocy.
just glorious.
We're really smart.
You run a fucking a fake expansion
And they're
team.
winning.
In what year?
We just finished year 4. Made the playoffs.
Making the playoffs is winning?
No, it's winning for an expansion team. We have lower standards than our team. Now, I'll say this. We have to get past that first round next year. We have to improve. We have to always be improving.
Hope your team quits on you.
Is your
Oh,
coach,
no, they love me.
Is your coach on a hot seat?
Joe Mazzulla, no. Joe Mazzulla's not on the hot seat.
How many first round exits does it take till he's on the hot seat?
Oh, that's different. Maybe next year, if we get knocked out first round, maybe he is. That's fair.
I just want to talk MMA with Joe Mazzulla. Would love to have him spinning back fist one day.
I'll ask
Loves
him.
fights.
He's working for me right now. So
Guy genuinely loves fights.
talk to him.
Loves fighting. What do you guys think?
Granite Street today, by the way, 3. And what are you tapping, Meek? Meek's so excited he's tapping away.
I think he's got to have a.
Trying to work up another tsunami.
Quick before we wrap up, we'll give picks. Ceiling for the Steelers with Rodgers.
Ceiling.
Can they
11 wins?
if it hits? If it hits right.
What is tapping?
That might have been me right there by accident. That might be there.
11 wins. A second round.
Okay.
Ceiling. AFC's too tough.
Hubs ceiling.
They play the North, NFC North, so that doesn't help.
Nope.
That's a tough division. AFC North, 9-8.
It's a ceiling?
They're ceiling.
Oh, ceiling?
Ceiling. Yes.
Oh, that was what I think.
What's the best?
I agree with you.
If things hit, great. If things really hit, Rodgers is obviously not prime Rodgers, but he's looks good Rodgers.
As good as he can be.
Good enough. Good old Rodgers.
12 wins.
Can they win a Super Bowl? Can they go to the Super Bowl?
Because if he's right and he's playing like the Rodgers I grew to love and know for one more time.
But I don't think he has that in him anymore.
What?
I don't think that ceiling exists anymore.
I think he could be I think he can be better than what he showed on the Jets.
Okay.
Tomlin's a great coach. Defense is going to be flying. That team has just desperately needed a decent quarterback for to push themselves. They go in the playoffs with nothing. Why can't I don't know? It's not that great.
I just think the Chiefs, the Bills, I think the people standing in their way are just too tough. Rodgers at his.
I guess I
don't see any.
I don't know what Rodgers has left, and it's so hard to tell you what the ceiling is because I think he could be better than the Jets, and I think that team could. I don't know. I don't think it's that great. Yeah, can they win a Super Bowl? Probably not, but they can get to let's say AFC title game.
All right, so
That's what I had.
I said second round.
Let's say AFC title game.
I had AFC title in my head because I agree with Clemmer's general premise, like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens. I still think they're better.
Now, what do I think?
I think there's other teams that also could still be better, obviously, but we're talking if they max out.
9-8 and they lose in the first round of the playoffs is what I think happens.
Probably. Sounds about right.
I would agree. I say 9 and 8. Maybe they missed the playoffs. But yes, we're all on the same page.
Just brutally, I think I just see no world where they're better than the Ravens still. I think the Ravens are still clear.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned the Ravens. Or even the problem is the division is a nightmare.
Even the division, the Ravens, I think, to me, are clearly the best team, obviously. The Browns suck, so I guess there is like a little.
Yes.
We thought coming last year the Browns maybe like had a pulse and they're bad. Obviously, they were good the year before that, so.
I think they're the second best team in that division.
Oh, I think the Bengals are better.
Then Bengals defense.
Bengals defense is a problem.
Bengals defense takes you out.
That's a problem.
And they're obviously better than the Browns.
Also,
I think they're the second best team in that division.
Also, their first round pick, the Bengals, I hate it. They took Shamar Stewart,
Still tapping on the table.
I think it's me. I got a restless foot.
Yeah.
No sacks. I just no production. Not a fan of the pick, and I don't even know if we signed yet. But I didn't love what and
every guy had
the Hendrickson son thing.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play there.
Maybe it's the top 10 picks have all signed, right, or something like that. Hasn't everyone but one guy signed or something?
He probably is signed now because I think he went to OTs, but I know it was a thing at the beginning. I didn't love the pick as a college football guy. He just didn't. He's like Mr. Oh, he's got like Myles Garrett's like body, but he had 3 sacks in college.
That's a problem.
Myles Garrett had 30 sacks in college.
They need to fix that, and I don't think they did a lot of improvements in free agency either. Honestly,
not enough.
Bengals defense is a concern.
I just always believe their offense will give them like a puncher's chance, and I like the defense. We talked about yesterday a little bit. They hired Al Golden, who was Notre Dame's defensive coordinator. I almost just think the defense, they were so bad, it's almost like how could they be worse? Yeah. Like they almost have to be like at least like marginally better. But I guess who knows? Clemmer, what do you got for picks?
Yeah. I have a baseball player I really like. So it's a parlay. Ahmad Rosario, under 1.5 hits. He is batting 97 lifetime against Corbin. And then the Mets are leading after the first 5 innings. That's plus 122. And then I'm on Mike Soraka over 2.5 earned runs. And I'm on this play here. OKC sweeps out. The rest of the way, it's plus 310.
We have King of the Diamond today. I think we should all have a home run.
Ooh, King of the Diamonds. I like that. That makes me happy. Let me while you guys do your picks, let me think about King of the Diamonds.
So mine today, I'm on the Marlins plus 130. That starts in like 5 minutes or 7 minutes, I should say. I am also on the. I think I'm gonna be on the Oilers tonight. I'm gonna keep around them. I was on them in Game 1, big win. Who else? I had someone else too. I was gonna bet. Oh, I have the over. Over 9 in Angels Mariners. Those are the plays as of now.
Okay.
I'll tweet them.
I love the Marlins. It's about to start today. 7 minutes. I think it's a fantastic line for them. So I am on the Marlins, which is plus 1. Was it?
130. I'm on it as well.
Okay, so I'm on them. Big tennis match about to start. Jannik Sinner against Novak Djokovic. Spot in the finals on the line to play Carlos Alcaraz. I think Sinner's going to destroy him. Sinner in straights is plus 160, and then Sinner's set spread minus 1.5. That means he's got to just win in anything besides 5 sets, and that's minus 185. So that's a lot of juice there, obviously. I like the Pirates, plus 115. I like Will Warren, 7 Ks or more, plus 130. The Yankee line is too high to take. They don't have it available because the lineups aren't out yet, but Ben Rice is in the lineup. I'm going to be on his 2+ bases, facing the righty and Buehler. And for King of the Diamond, my selection will be Jackson Holiday.
Oh, all right.
The Orioles are slowly figuring their offense out.
They are, you're right.
And I saw last night, I think that them to make the playoffs is something around plus 1,000, plus 1,100. The American League sucks. It's not, there's so much time left. I know the pitching is just going to continue to be a problem, and they're not going to have Grayson, but it's not like the worst dart throw, Orioles, to sneak into the playoffs. They're only like 7.5 back of the final wildcard spot.
No.
The offense is good. It hasn't been playing well, but they're starting to turn it around. I'm just saying it's an interesting thing to look at. But yeah, Jackson Holiday. They're playing in Oakland. Oh, sorry, Sacramento. Ball flies. So
my pick is Brett Beatty. Playing Coors Field. Senzel is terrible. Let's go.
Senzel is terrible. Yeah. He is one of the worst pitchers.
I think the Mets are going to have the most runs today. That's what I'm trying to isolate. But I think Jackson Holiday's a really good pick too.
So I'm gonna take an Angel because I really love the over in the Mariners Angels. I'm gonna take Fuck, I'm gonna take Jorge Soler plus 500.
Okay.
I'll throw Jorge Soler in there.
Take Beatty Clemmer? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's up plus 600.
I will be at the game tonight. I am going
think
to
I am
take
too.
Jaren Duran.
Oh, that's rude.
You guys are both going to the game tonight?
I think I'm gonna go. Yeah. I haven't bought my tickets yet, but game
like
time.
that.
is great
Beautiful
for
weather.
last
Let's
minute
go.
ticket.
I
Yeah,
like
it's,
that.
yeah.
So you're on Duran, Liam?
Yep.
I like that.
And
Will Warren got spanked the last time.
Head start, but
Ev, you're
everything else is
on-
really good.
At
Ev's
some
on
point, you are
Soler.
where you are.
No.
Wait,
A
is that
really
on-
good pitcher.
Took Soler.
No,
Okay.
I'll put
that's not
Soler
what
in
his.
it.
That's not what his.
One bad start.
Well, no, I mean his career ERA. He's at one point. At some point, you're a bad pitcher.
Fucking blow me, dude.
I'm just saying. Don't get mad at me because he hasn't done well. Get mad
Get
at
mad
him.
at me because he's turning a corner.
Okay.
And my pick is Brandon Nimmo.
Oh,
Child of God. He grew up a Rockies fan. He loves playing in Coors Field.
On his best day.
On his best day, he's a child of God.
On his worst day.
He's a child of God.
That's right.
That was a bad Mets loss, huh?
That's one season series. You can flush it
Yeah,
down.
we're doing okay. I'm not too worried about it. So that is what if we win this, we'd win almost $44,000
Yeah, if
That'd be
all of us
cool.
hit
On how
home.
much?
on $5.
$5 bet.
$5.
$5 bet wins
$5
40.
bet wins 44,000.
Pretty good.
There we go.
Pretty good.
Just put that in.
Putting that in now. All right.
Very nice.
I love it.
I actually really enjoy this. I have fun tracking this all night. It's fun to keep
It's
track
a
of which
great,
team has
great
scoring.
offer from DK.
I think last
Really
week,
fun.
Last week it was the Twins who if you had Carlos Correa
Oh, yeah,
or any of those
yeah.
guys, like you got so lucky. If you had like the Blue Jays or
Bad
the
beat.
Rangers, that's an
It went
awful
extra
beat.
innings, and they scored 6 in the 10th.
Yeah, and I think it was like the lowest total of the day playing in Seattle.
It was 6.5 or 7. It was or 7.
All-time bad beat.
I had the Twins in that game money line. That was a joy.
I did too, actually.
Whatever pitcher the Mariners threw out there in extras was the worst pitcher. One of the worst pitching performances I've ever seen.
I've been getting killed by bullpens lately.
Mariners are
Yes.
4-9 the last 13 games.
Yesterday,
Dude, yesterday was bad.
I went out of I took the Braves, complimented the Braves bullpen. I mean, what a horrible day to do that.
Yeah, it's tough.
Blew it.
Nothing worse than basically like cashing the bet in your brain.
Oh.
As it's 10-5 entering the 9th, and you just like don't even look at it, and then you look, and then you just check it like 20-30 minutes later just to make sure, and then it's 11-10. And
You see what they did? They brought up
you're
Craig
coming up,
Kimbrell.
and you're coming up to the plate 11-10, and then they get a guy on, and then Ozuna grounds to a double play first pitch to end the game. Just a demoralized, especially a 12 o'clock game where you're like, all right, like starting the day with a
Yeah,
winner,
right.
like an easy winner too. Like they were up 5-6 runs like most of the game, like, and then just lose. And then I also lost the Royals,
Oh, I lost that.
which were up 3-0. So that was disgusting. Like 2-day games start of the day. That was
Cameron was very good.
2-0 that turned into 0-2.
That was,
Oh, that was gross.
The Royals was bad.
Really gross. Yeah, I got smoked last night. I think OKC hurt me as well. That was a responsible nuke that went sour. Bad day. We'll be back. Appreciate everyone watching. Like the stream. We'll see you guys Monday. Talk about the
weekend.
finals, everything else. Have a great weekend. I'm going to Wheezy tonight. Very excited.
3 p.m. Granite game time stream tonight.
Granite
Today.
stink.
Granite are great.
Check out Spinning Back this. Do the whole preview of UFC 316. I'll be there tomorrow as well. Let's
Let's go.
fucking go. Thank you guys.